Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 14th, 2022. Today, I'm going to recap yesterday's two NBA play-in tournament games with the 9 and 10 seeds from each conference. Then we'll look back on yesterday's NHL and MLB games, look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. We will go over the current leaderboard at the Heritage Classic. I'll do my latest NFL power rankings as we are 2 weeks away from the draft. News and notes and best bet of the day. We're going to start the play-in tournament with the NBA. One lopsided game and one interesting game. The lopsided game being the Hawks over the Hornets 132-103. The Hornets didn't stand a chance as the game was going on. Trae Young had 24 points and 11 assists. LaMelo Ball, 26 points and 8 assists. And now the Hawks on Friday night will play in Cleveland against the Cavaliers for the right to be the 8 seed. And Charlotte goes back to the lottery. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do this off season. And the Pelicans over the Spurs 113-103. As the Pelicans survive, and they'll take on the Clippers on Friday night in Los Angeles. C.J. McCollum, 32 points and 7 assists. And Devin Vassell, 23 points for San Antonio. And the Spurs came back in this game to make it interesting after being down big. So good on San Antonio for rallying in what could have very well been Greg Popovich's final game as a coach, which would be sad. The Spurs have a lot of cap space this summer, so you would think they're going to do something big to improve their team, whether it's with Pop or another coach. And then the Pelicans live to play another day. So it's going to be very interesting to see what goes on in San Antonio this offseason. All right, NHL, we'll look back on the few games that were played yesterday and look ahead to what is a very busy and enticing window for tonight. Rangers over Flyers 4-0. Good bounce back win for the Rangers. They're 48-21-6. Philly 23-40-11. Number 3 started game with a goal, Artemi Panarin. His 22nd of the year. Number 2 started game with 2 goals, Kaapo Kakko. He's back from injury. And their number 1 started game with 28 saves on 28 shots, Alexander Georgiev. Blue Jackets over the Canadiens, 5-1. Columbus 35-33-6. Montreal 20-43-11. Number 3 started game with an assist, Nick Blackenberg. Number 2 started game with a goal and 2 assists, Patrick Laine. And the number 1 star of the game with 2 goals, Jack Roslovic. Avalanche over the Kings, 9-3. Wow. Colorado, 53-14-6. LA, 39-27-10. Number 3 started game with a goal and 3 assists, Cale Makar. Number 2 started game with 2 goals, Nicholas Aube-Kubel. And the number 1 started game with 3 goals and 2 assists, Nathan MacKinnon, who is just an absolute monster. He's so good. If it wasn't for McDavid, he'd be winning Hart trophies left and right. All right, now we look ahead to tonight's games. We have a lot of them. 7 o'clock game, the Senators and the Bruins. Big game for Boston as they're trying to get that 3 seed in the the Atlantic Division bracket. They could very well be in the Metropolitan Division bracket. Boston minus 310, Ottawa plus 245, over under 6, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Ottawa plus 1.5 and Boston minus 1.5 or minus 110 each way. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Bruins. Big game for them. They got to win. And they're home. Their fans are going to be behind them, so I like Boston. Buffalo hosting the Blues. The Blues minus 210, Buffalo plus 172, over under 6.5, minus 10 each way. Buffalo minus 1.5 is plus 126. Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Blues, where things stand right now, are in a tie for second, with Minnesota. So they're playing for home ice advantage in the playoffs. This is an important game for St. Louis. It's more likely by the day they're going to play the Wild in the first round. These two teams have had first series successes in the past. So where to go here with my pick? I don't know if I trust the Blues enough with the puck line because Buffalo has knocked off Carolina lately, so they've taken advantage of teams falling for traps. So instead, I'm going to go with the over 6.5. Capitals Maple Leafs, huge game for both teams. Toronto to lock up the 2 seed in the Atlantic Division bracket. That's not a guarantee. If they lose some games, if they lose a couple of their last 8 games down the stretch, in Tampa, if on the other side wins a couple, and same with Boston. You can't rule out Boston for the 2 seed either. 2 seed's not a guarantee for the Maple Leafs. And then for Washington, they have 2 games in hand on the Penguins, so there's a possibility that they leapfrog the Penguins here. Toronto's minus 162, Washington plus 134, over under 6.5, overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Washington plus 1.5 is minus 188, Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 155. I'm going to say this game goes to overtime, so I'm going to go with the draw at plus 340. This is too big of a game. You know both these teams are going to be up for it. Washington's winners of last 4. Toronto, 7-2-1, their last 10. They lost their last game. I really think that Washington has a chance to win, but instead I'm going to go with the overtime plus 340. Ducks Lightning, another big game for Tampa Bay to try to avoid the 4 spot. Although if you're Tampa, do you want the 4 spot? Do you low-key want the 4 spot? Same for Boston, same for the Maple Leafs. You might want the 4 spot. The Metro Division might be a little more open. That side of the bracket might be a little bit more wide open than you think. Tampa minus 400, Anaheim plus 275, over under 6, minus 110 each way. Ducks plus 1.5 is plus 110, Lightning minus 1.5 is minus 132. I'm going to go with the under. 2 good goalies in this game. I don't think there's going to be that many goals, so I like the under. Islanders Penguins, so the second of a home and home. Pens minus 170, Islanders plus 140, over under 5.5. Overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 194. Penguins minus 1.5 is plus 160. Pittsburgh needs the game so bad. I'm going Pens in regulation at minus 105 at home against the Islanders. Red Wings Hurricanes. That's a big game for Carolina. They're not guaranteed to win the Metro Division by any stretch of the imagination. Carolina minus 385, Detroit plus 290, over under 6.5, minus 110 each way. Red Wings plus 2.5 is minus 134. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going to go with the over. I know it's Alex Nedeljkovic's return to Carolina, which is interesting. But Carolina needs the game. They're only 2 points ahead of the Rangers for first place. So I'm going to go with the over. I'd parlay the Carolina money line with that as well. 8 o'clock, the Oilers and the Predators. A huge game for both teams. Nashville is trying to hang on to that wild card spot. They're not even guaranteed. Vegas is 4 back of them and 3 back of Dallas. And Dallas is 1 back of Nashville. So Dallas can leapfrog them. And meanwhile, Edmonton isn't guaranteed to finish second in their division. So they need to lock up the 2 seed in the Pacific bracket. Preds are minus 115, Oilers minus 104, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Edmonton plus 1.5 is minus 280. Nashville minus 1.5 is plus 225. I'm going to lay the minus 115 with the Predators at home. They're under a ton of pressure here to get it done, so I'm going to lay the minus 115. Wild Stars on ESPN at 8 o'clock. A humongous game. Now, I mean humongous. Obviously, Dallas trying to hang on to that last wild card spot, trying to pull away from the likes of Vegas and potentially the Kings down the road, maybe Vancouver. And Winnipeg is weirdly still alive in this too. And meanwhile, the Wild are playing for second in their division with the Blues. The Wild are minus 120. Dallas is even money. Over under 6. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 220. Dallas plus 1.5 is minus 275. I'm going to go with Dallas at home again and even money. They got the big win over the Lightning. I think they're going to do it again and try to pull further from Vegas and Vancouver, who both play tonight too, if I'm not mistaken. But they're going to try. So even money with Dallas at home. 8:30 Sharks Blackhawks. This is the most meaningless game we've seen on the board so far. Pat Foley, the Blackhawks play-by-play announcer, is down to his final couple games here. Sharks minus 118, Blackhawks minus 102, over under 6, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Sharks minus 1.5 is plus 225, Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 280. I'm going to go with Chicago at home, minus 102. 9 o'clock, Devils Avalanche. The Avs are battling the Panthers for the President's Trophy, so they have that at stake for them. Avs minus 345, Devils plus 270, over under 6.5, overs minus 130, unders plus 106. Devils plus 1.5 is plus 110, Avs minus 1.5 is minus 132. I'm going to go with a different play. I'm going to go with New Jersey plus 1.5 and minus at plus 110. These big underdogs seem to be hanging around with the Avs, so I'm going to take the Devils plus 110, plus 1.5 at plus 110. Golden Knights Flames. That's a humongous game. Flames trying to lock up the Pacific Division. Golden Knights trying to catch the Dallas and the Kings. Dallas in the wild card in third place in the division with the Kings. Calgary minus 162. Vegas plus 134. Over under 6. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 188. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 155. I'm going to go with the over. I want to pick Vegas, but Robin Leonard's been too inconsistent, so I'm going to go with the over. And last but not least, Coyotes Canucks, big game for Vancouver. They got to win this game. They're minus 310. Arizona is plus 240, over under 6.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 102. Vancouver minus 1.5 is minus 118. I'm going to go with the under. Last time these two teams played, Vancouver won 5-1. I think Thatcher Demko will play well. I'm going to go with the under 6.5 minus 114. I'd also parlayed the Vancouver money line with that in a potential same game parlay. All right, now move on to Major League Baseball. We will recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. Nationals over the Braves 3-1. Nats 3-4, Braves 3-4. Josiah Gray the win, Max Fried the loss, Taylor Rainey the save. Austin Riley homered in this game for Atlanta. That was the lone run they had. Pirates over the Cubs 6-2. Pittsburgh 2-3, Chicago 3-2. Getting the win was from the Pirates, Dylan Peters. The loss, Kyle Hendricks. Will Crow gets the save. Homers, Wilson Contreras in the top of the fourth. Ben Gamble in the bottom of the first. Guardians over the Reds 7-3. Guardians 4-2. Reds 2-4. Getting the win was Eli Morgan. The loss, Nick Lodolo. Homers in this game, Brad Miller, Oscar Mercado, Jose Ramirez. Tyler Stevenson, and Jake Fraley. And by the way, not Brad Miller, Owen Miller. Mets over the Phillies 9-6. Mets 5-2, Phillies 3-3. Max Scherzer to win, Aaron Nola the loss. Homers Brandon Nimmo. Peter Alonso 3-run shot. And bottom of the ninth, Bryce Harper. Red Sox over the Tigers 9-7. Boston 3-3. Detroit 2-4. Nate Eovaldi to win. Eduardo Rodriguez the loss. Hansel Robles the save. Homers Jonathan Scope. Kike Hernandez. Akil Baddoo. Spencer Torkelson. Was that his first big league homer? Yes. And that's it. As the Tigers made that game a lot interesting and a lot closer than the Red Sox wanted it to be. Dodgers over the Twins 7-0. Clayton Kershaw was perfect through 7. Dave Roberts pulled him. Clayton Kershaw said, blame the lockout. Dodgers 3-2. Twins 2-4. Kershaw with the win. Chris Paddock the loss. Homers Cody Bellinger. Gavin Lux. Matt Barnes. Austin Barnes and Max Muncy. D-backs over the Astros 3-2 in 10 innings on a walk-off sac fly by Cato Marte. Seth Beer scores. And Marte to first on a fielding error by Jake McCormick. That was with the bases loaded, too. Houston drops to 4-2, Arizona 2-4. Oliver Perez to win, Ryan Presley the loss. No homers in this game, amazingly enough. Giants over the Padres 2-1. The Giants 4-2. San Diego 4-3. Logan Webb the win, Sean Manaea the loss. And Duvall the save. No homers in this game. A's over the Rays 4-2. Oakland 3-3. Tampa 4-2. Frankie Montas to win, Shane McClanahan the loss. Lou Trevino the save. Sean Murphy for Oakland, and Jai-Man Choi for the Rays homered. Brewers over the Orioles 4-2. The Brewers 3-3. Baltimore 1-5. Brad Boxberger to win. Jorge Lopez the loss, and Josh Hader to save. No home runs in this game. Blue Jays over the Yankees 6-4. The Blue Jays are 4-2. Yankees 3-3. Adam Simber to win. Chad Green the loss, and Jordan Romano the save. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. homered 3 times in this game, including one of the home runs off the glove of Aaron Hicks as he attempted to make the robbing catch in center field. But Vlad's just an animal. And also homering in this game, Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge, and Gleyber Torres for the Yanks. And last but not least, the Mariners lose at the White Sox 6-4. White Sox 4-1, Mariners 2-4. Dallas Keuchel win, Robbie Ray the loss, Liam Hendricks a save. Home runs, Ty France, Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert. And Royals Cardinals postponed, makeup date May 2nd. Now we look ahead to today's games. 1 o'clock, you have the Athletics and the Rays. Cole Irvin and Josh Fleming. Tampa's got to be an enormous favorite here. They're minus 225. Oakland plus 188. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Oakland plus 1/2 is minus 115. Rays minus 1/2 is minus 104. I'm going to go with the unders. Feels like an under series. So I'm going to go with the under. 2 o'clock, Mariners, White Sox. Logan Gilbert and Jimmy Lambert. Mariners minus 120, White Sox plus 102, over under 9, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Mariners minus 1/2 is plus 138, White Sox plus 1/2 is minus 166. I'm going to go Seattle first half result, plus 110. 5:15, Cardinals Brewers. If I'm not mistaken, the Brewers home opener. Adam Wainwright and Brandon Woodruff. Brewers minus 152, Cardinals plus 128, over under 8, overs minus 104, unders minus 106. Cards plus 1/2 is minus 176, Brewers minus 1/2 is plus 146. I'm going to go under 8, minus 106, contrarian play. I think this is a bounce back spot for Brandon Woodruff. 6:30, Nats Pirates. Joan Adon and JT Brubaker. This is a terrible series coming up. Pirates minus 134, Nats plus 114, over under 9, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Nats plus 1/2 is minus 182, Pirates minus 1/2 is plus 150. I'm going to go with the over. Phillies Marlins. Kyle Gibson and Sandy Alcantara. I think this is the Marlins home opener. They're minus 102. Phils are favored, minus 116, over under 7.5, overs minus 120, others minus 102. Phils minus 1/2 is plus 160. Marlins plus 1/2 is minus 194. I'm going to go with the Marlins, minus 102. 7 o'clock, Blue Jays Yankees. See if the Yankees can get the split here. Kevin Gausman against Luis Severino. Yanks minus 136. Blue Jays plus 116, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Jays plus 1/2 is minus 184. Yanks minus 1/2 is plus 152. I'm going to go with the Yankees in the first half result at plus 105. 8 o'clock, Angels Rangers. Shohei Ohtani and Dane Dunning. Angels minus 142, Texas plus 120, over under 8.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Angels minus 1/2 is plus 118. Texas plus 1/2 is minus 142. I'm going to do a popular play that I've been doing on the show today, and that is Angels first half result at minus 105. Braves Padres. Charlie Morton and Joe Musgrove. Huge series. Braves are minus 104, Pods minus 112, over under 7.5. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Braves minus 1/2 is plus 164. Padres plus 1/2 is minus 200. I'm going to lay to minus 104 as a short underdog with Atlanta. They need, I think they're going to be motivated. And I like Charlie Morton in the big ballpark. Tigers Royals. Casey Mize and Zach Greinke. Royals minus 130, Tigers plus 110, over under 8.5. Overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 188. Royals minus 1/2 is plus 155. I'm going to go with the Tigers plus 110 to get it done on the road with Casey Mize. 8:30, the Cubs and the Rockies. So Chris Bryant against his former team. Justin Steele and Kyle Freeland. Rockies minus 126, Cubs plus 108, over under 11.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Cubs plus 1/2 is minus 176. Rockies minus 1/2 is plus 146. I'm going to go Cubs first half money line at plus 114. And 10 o'clock, the Reds and the Dodgers. Dodgers home opener. Luis Cessa and Walker Buehler. Dodgers minus 275, Reds plus 225, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Reds plus 1/2 is plus 105. Dodgers minus 1/2 is minus 126. I'm going to go with the under. Walker Buehler, Reds offense stinks, so I like the under 8.5 at minus 110. All right, now we're going to go over the current leaderboard for the Heritage Classic. It's early, but we just got to give it a look. Your leader with a score of 4 under through 7 is Cam Young. Tied for second with 2 under, you have Doug Gim through 6, Davis Riley through 7, Jason Kokrak through 4, and Kevin Tway through 4. Tied for 6 with 1 under is a big tie. Sam Ryder through 7, Kevin Strowman through 7. And through 6, Roger Sloan, Emiliano Grillo, and Peter Molinari. Through 5, Mito Pereira, Charles Schwartzel, Adam Putnam, Siwoo Kim, and William McGirt. Through 4, we got Graham McDowell. Through 3, you got Taylor Hogan, Lucas Glover. Through 2, you got Cam Davis. He dropped. Or no, that was Cam Young. My bad. Through 3, Corey Connors, Daniel Berger. Through 2, Lucas Donald. Through 3, Mackenzie Houston. Through 2, Tyler Duncan and Patrick Cantlay. Tied for 26 at even. Through 6, Pat Perez. Through 7, Hank Labodia. Through 5, Charlie Hoffman, Kevin Na, Luke List. Through 4, Joel Diamond, Carlos Ortiz, Henrik Stenson, and Brandon Grace. Through 3, you have Robert Streb and Sung-Hoon Kang. Through 2, Richie Werenski, Brett Horschel, Kevin Kisner, and Martin Trainer. Through 1, Shane Lowry, Matt Thompson, Charles Howell III, Jordan Spieth, Adam Long, Adam Schenk, Dylan McCarthy, and Chasen Hadley. And then notables. 1 over, tied for 49th. James Hahn through 5, J.J. Spawn through 5, Hudson Swafford through 4, Tyrell Hatton through 3, Justin Thomas through 2, Nate Watney through 1, Chris Kirk through 1. Tied for 50. Oh, wait. Tied for 62nd with 2 over through 8, Henry Higgs through 7, Russell Knopf and Kramer Hickok. Charles Howell III through 3, and Beau Hostler through 2. And that's your early leaderboard so far for the RBC Heritage Classic. Now I'm going to do my NFL Power Rankings for right now. I'm not going to do the theme of won't be shocked if it's insert names last year with the team, only because the offseason's not over yet. There still could be trades and whatnot. And say if I say a person and then that person gets traded like before this season, so I can't do that. We'll do that like before the season, like similar to what we did but right before the baseball season started last week. All right, 32 of the Houston Texans. They're the worst team in the league. They traded Deshaun Watson. Davis Mills is supposed to be their starter. 31, the Atlanta Falcons. Their starter is slated to be Marcus Mariota after trading away Matt Ryan. They're going to be in the quarterback market for the draft. 30, the Seattle Seahawks. Another potential quarterback team in the draft. Drew Lock slated to be their starter right now. 29, the New York Football Giants. 2 first-round picks, which is good for them. I think people are underselling that about the Giants. They're not going to take a quarterback in this draft class. I think they're going to wait till next year to take one if it doesn't work out with Daniel Jones. 28, the New York Jets, also with 2 first-round picks. They need to build the best possible roster around Zach Wilson to have him succeed in year 2 rather than year 1. Number 27, the Detroit Lions. They seem contempt of the Jared Goff. They seem to like him. Although I won't be shocked if they take a quarterback with the last pick of the first round. In the pick they got in that trade. 26, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Out of the bottom 5, out of the bottom 6, after having the worst record last year, I just think that they made some improvements in the free agency period, and Trevor Lawrence is ready to take the next step, and they have a NFL coaching upgrade with Doug Peterson over Urban Meyer. Number 25, the Carolina Panthers. They seem like a no-brainer pick to draft a quarterback in the first round. Would it be weird if they traded down and took a quarterback because of how weak the class is this year, and someone wants to trade up for like Sauce Gardner or something like that if he falls? It would be interesting. Number 24, the Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz is now in at quarterback, but I still don't think that they are good enough to win the NFC East. Number 23, the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields year 2. People expect him to break through. Number 22, the Miami Dolphins. They are out of the bottom 10 with the trade for Tyreek Hill. It's make or break for Tua, for real. And if he ain't it this year, he ain't never going to be it. And the Dolphins are going to be in the quarterback market in 2023. Number 21, the Philadelphia Eagles, who also I think is going to be in the quarterback market in 2023 if Jalen Hurts doesn't make that next step. They're giving him one more chance, just like the Giants are giving Daniel Jones one more chance. And Miami's giving Tua one more chance. Number 20, the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, I think, could be a bounce-back team for 2022 if things break right. Their division's a lot weaker. Number 19, the Cleveland Browns. Trade for Deshaun Watson, but somehow Baker Mayfield's still on the roster. Could Baker be headed to Seattle? And maybe the Browns throw in like a third-round pick sweetener, and they send a fourth back to Cleveland with the sixth, maybe. I feel like Seattle is where Baker's going to end up. Maybe Atlanta. Maybe even the Panthers. Maybe New Orleans. I wouldn't rule out either. So Baker watches on for them. Number 18, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They signed Mitch Trubisky. He's likely to be their starter. Maybe they do draft the quarterback in the first round. I know a lot of people like the idea of Kenny Pickett going there because he went to Pitt. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pittsburgh does here in the draft. Number 17, the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is not even in the top half because of the Devontae Adams deal. Like, that's how much I think they're going to regress. But if they get one of those good wide receivers in the draft, they have 2 first-round picks, they can move up and get maybe a Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, then they'll be back in the top 16. They have no true number 1 wide receiver, and that's why they're out of the top 6 in the top half. Number 16, the Arizona Cardinals. They're in the top half. Arizona made the playoffs last year. Kyler Murray, weird situation. Does he get paid or not? 15, the New Orleans Saints. The Saints probably would have made the playoffs last year if Jameis Winston didn't get hurt. The Saints aren't a bad team. Dennis Allen's their new coach. Maybe that's a downgrade. That's my only grade for New Orleans from head coaching. Sean Payton obviously gone. Number 14, the New England Patriots. They made the postseason last year. Mac Jones has to take that next step for me if they want to be a real Super Bowl contender. Number 13, the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is a huge bounce-back candidate for 2022. Lamar's got to be better. They re-signed Calais Campbell. Maybe they get another wide receiver. Number 12, the Tennessee Titans. People are talking about them as a potential sleeper to draft a quarterback in the first round. Maybe, maybe not. I like Ryan Tannehill. He's just a good fit with this team as currently constituted, but I don't know if they're going to be as good as last year and the year before. Number 11, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're out of the top 10 because they trade away Tyreek Hill and have failed to replace him in a big way. Really, Juju Smith-Schuster? He's not that good. Pittsburgh was happy to get rid of him. They gotta, like Green Bay, take a wide receiver, but they're so much higher than Green Bay because of Travis Kelce still being around, and Green Bay doesn't have anybody to support their quarterback, unlike Kansas City, who still has Travis Kelce. So that's the difference between the two teams. If they got rid of both Kelce and Hill, they would have been down there with Green Bay and Pittsburgh in that range. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. I think that Dallas is still the favorites to win the NFC East. They're the best quarterback in the division in Dak Prescott. Maybe they take a wide receiver in the first round Number 9, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are interesting. Matt Ryan's in there now. He's an upgrade over Carson Wentz. And I think they're now the favorites to win this division. Number 8, the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are going to be a lot of fun this year. They got Devontae Adams and they got Chandler Jones going to go there into Miami. Right? Why do I feel like Chandler Jones went there? Let's see. For some reason I thought... Oh, he did go to Vegas, not Miami. I wasn't sure where he went. I knew he went to one or the other. So they got Chandler Jones in there. They really have some big pieces now. They extend Derek Carr. And Josh McDaniels is their new coach. Number 7, the Denver Broncos. They get Russell Wilson, who I think is going to be absolutely motivated. That team is pretty loaded offensively and defensively. Bradley Chubb's a guy I think needs to really step up his game, though. Number 6, the San Francisco 49ers. Where things stand right now, it looks like Jimmy G is going to be their starter. If it's going to be Trey Lance, they're obviously down a peck. Could have made the Super Bowl last year. Still have a lot of good players. And they obviously have a good coach in Kyle Shanahan. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome back, Tom Brady. He's back and ready to rock and roll. They still need to take care of some business before the draft and before the season. I don't think the roster is as good as it was the last 2 years, but Brady came back as he saw the landscape and was like, yeah, I can win with this Bucs team. Number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like the Bengals are being disrespected a lot in people's power rankings. I've seen like people leaving them out of the top 5 and even the top 10 in some places. But they got the best quarterback in their division in Joe Burrow. Don't underestimate Joe Burrow. He's amazing. The offensive line's better. And I really think that they should be the favorites to win the AFC North again. I don't know if they'll go back to the Super Bowl, but they should be favorites in their own division at least, and not the Ravens. Number 3, the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, a team that didn't make the playoffs this past season is 3rd on my power rankings. That's what happens when you go out and make some big moves to improve your team, like getting in Khalil Mack to help your pass rush. And next, offensive line. You can address that in the draft. I really think they have a legit shot to go to the Super Bowl next year. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. Their fans are probably thinking, oh, we could have won that Super Bowl if we didn't let Patrick Mahomes go down the field in 10 seconds. And if the coin toss went our way. That's all true. Von Miller was added to Buffalo, which was crazy. Stephon Diggs extended. This team is ready to rock. And number 1, the Los Angeles Rams. Your reigning Super Bowl champions, got to be number 1. They lose Von Miller, but they could very well be bringing in Stephon Gilmore. They bring in Allen Robinson. This is still a rock star team with rock stars everywhere. Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald's coming back. You think that they're going to get Odell Beckham Jr. back despite the torn ACL. So the Rams got to be number 1. You can't convince me otherwise. Unless if Aaron Donald decided to retire. But he's not retiring. He's coming back to the Rams. He's getting a new contract. So the Rams are your number 1 team as things stand 2 weeks before the NFL draft. All right, now move on to news and notes for today. There are some things that I would like to discuss. So Ben Simmons, a lot of rumors about Ben Simmons and his potential return. I really think that there's a possibility Steve Nash is lying, just like he lied about James Harden. Because Brooklyn doesn't know how to keep their mouths shut. And then poor Steve Nash has to keep denying reporters. ESPN is reporting that Ben Simmons is targeting as early as April 25th for his debut. So that would be Game 4 against Boston, which would be crazy. After the Spurs lost last night, Greg Popovich would not discuss his future, as he says it's inappropriate after missing the playoffs for the third straight year. Miles Bridges hits a fan with his mouthpiece after being ejected. And then it hits a different fan. And then he comes out and says it was unacceptable, which it was. He was being a baby. And something not great for the Charlotte players is that they weren't happy when the team bus got delayed by a train before the play-in game. So I wonder if that had something to do with their poor performance. So we talked about Aaron Hicks and how he couldn't catch the ball, which turned out to be the first of 3 homers for Vlad Jr. He had his scouting card stuck to his head. That's crazy. That is really crazy. And then, rough moment for John Sterling. Well, it was a rough moment for a lot of Yankee fans, too. We thought Giancarlo Stanton had the game-tying homer yesterday. He was like, it is high, it is far, it is gone. And then he goes, no, it was caught. Giancarlo Stanton really teased us right there. I thought it was a game-tying home run. Everyone in the ballpark thought it was out, too. But no. A friend of Xander Bogaerts said the team's 1-year extension offer felt like a slap in the face. This could be a distraction for the Red Sox all season long, just like the Judge Yankees thing. We talked about yesterday how it's going to be Penguins Bruins from Fenway for the 2023 Winter Classic. So that's really cool. Steph Curry practiced, full participant. And Steve Kerr said it's looking good that he'll scrimmage Thursday. So that is great news for the Warriors. They need him back or else they're screwed. And Robert Williams has a very real chance to come back from the knee injury during the first-round series against Brooklyn, which is crazy. Benedict Mathurin, the Pac-12 Player of the Year, declares for the draft. That's not surprising. Also declaring for the draft is Alabama guard J.D. Davison. Meanwhile, Armando Bacot is returning to the Tar Heels for his senior year. That is tremendous news for the runners-up. Nick Saban says the NIL and transfer portal rules create a situation where you can basically buy players. The Colorado Avalanche land Minnesota defenseman Ben Myers after the college season ends. We'll see if he plays for them. Odell's surgery fixed past issue as his recent procedure corrected the 2020 surgery, and somebody says probably will extend his career. Baker Mayfield says he feels disrespect. Y'all never know. Podcast. He says to them that he's looking for stabilization in wherever he lands at mid-trade speculation. And the quarterback draft visits heat up. The Panthers are hosting 6 of them this week. And Desmond Ridder is visiting Seattle. A big college football transfer. JT Daniels is transferring to West Virginia after going 7-0 as a starter in 2 seasons at Georgia. I think that is good for West Virginia. Sometimes they hit with these transfers that are good, and sometimes they don't. I think this could be their best quarterback since Will Grier. So, a lot of people are probably going to bet their overs. The Giants' Antoine Richardson alleges Padres' Mike Shildt used expletive that reeked undertones of racism, which led to an ejection. Oof. I think there's going to be more to come out of that. And I'm surprised I didn't hear anything from Major League Baseball about that. Non-sports news, Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter. We'll see how that goes. I apologize for not doing Masked Singer or Survivor on today's show. We'll try to get it done as quickly as we can due to issues beyond my control. So once I watch those episodes, I'll provide analysis for you guys once I get them. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting slate, obviously. We have some good baseball games and some good hockey games. But the question is, where do I go? The play I like the most for best bet, I really like the this is tough. I'm going to go over 6 between Vegas and Calgary. That is a huge game, obviously. The over in A's Rays did not work out. But I'm going to go over 6.5. I believe it is in the Vegas-Calgary game because of the inconsistencies. It's 6. I like it even better so because worst case scenario is a push. Land a unit on it. Robin Leonard's been inconsistent. And I think that Markstrom is good, but I think that Vegas knows him a lot and always has had success against him. So I'm going to go over 6 and minus 115 between Vegas and Calgary for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today and looking ahead to the weekend. I'll give you my picks for round 1 of the NBA playoffs as well. Hopefully, I'll have some Masked Singer to talk about or Survivor. We'll see. We got to talk American Idol too on the podcast and pick who will advance to the top 20. And obviously, news and notes and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.